My experience with Freedom Planet. So, Freedom Planet. I have played this game at least one time. Freedom Planet. I remember Freedom Planet. Oh man, it's been a long time since I played that. It's been months since I even made the gameplay video. But let me give y'all an example of Freedom Planet, right? So I remember Freedom Planet forever ago before I even played it. ZDOC. Hi, how you doing? Um, but yeah, I remember for an extremely long time, Freedom Planet was like known as a fan-made Sonic game. Well, not a fan-made Sonic game, but it's like a very Sonic-inspired platformer, right? Because you can tell, Lilac has, Sonic super speed and all that other sort of stuff. She kind of plays, her level design is similar to his and whatnot, but obviously goes above and beyond and takes different liberties to do, shit different to make her game unique and all that other sort of stuff, right? And also, like, the storyline for Lilac and Friends is a lot darker, as you saw by the opening, than a lot of, Sonic games and all that other sort of stuff. But anyways, I remember for a long time, I didn't really... Low-key, Sonic the Hedgehog is a fire game. Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog is awesome, but so is Freedom Planet. And I think if you love Sonic, you should definitely try Freedom Planet. I remember I heard about this game, but I never really had the urge to go and play it for myself because I was just like, Freedom Planet. I'm not really looking for another type of Sonic game or whatever to play, right? I play Sonic Adventure DX. Sonic Adventure DX, that's a decent game. What about Sonic Adventure 2 DX for the GameCube? You played that one? I probably should play Sonic Adventure 2 on the channel sometime in the future. I just don't know how to do it. But anyways, I digress, right? Man, it's a lot to talk about because I've already made like two other my experience videos just sitting here talking. But anyways, Freedom Planet, I remember again, like I said, I just didn't care too much for it. And many months and there was a DX version for the second one. Yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 DX. Yeah, there's a second Sonic Adventure game on the GameCube. Great one. Or a pretty great one. There's some levels like one of the Knuckles levels, like flying, I think it was like falling meteor or something, like one of the worst levels in the entire Sonic game. But anyways, I digress. Let's not talk about too much like that. I've already done a Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 review already. But anyways, so many months, I think even years. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, my bad. Not DX, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. That's what I meant to say. Because I just remember the title. But anyways, God, I keep getting distracted. Until many years later, where I finally was, I was like, you know what? I want to play a Sonic game, but I don't have any available Sonic game options because I've already played Mania. I'm not super interested in Sonic Superstars, right, at this moment. I've already played Forces. I've already played Sonic Colors Ultimate. I've already played most Sonic games that are available to me on the PlayStation 5 console / PS4 console. Whatever. I've already played a lot of all that shit, right? And I'm like, I kind of want, like, something new, something fresh, whatever. And by the way, I've already played Sonic CD like over 5-6 years ago, and I have a full playthrough of Sonic CD on my channel. Just go find my classic Sonic gameplays and playthroughs playlist. You'd find that I played Sonic CD over there. Anyways, I remember I told Louie, hey Louie, I want to get a game because this happened one night when me and Louie were just in the store. He had a little bit of money in his PlayStation account, and he decided, hey, you know what? Let's go get ourselves some new games, right? And Louis was like, all right, I'm down with that. What do you want to see? And I remember we were looking for cheap games because we didn't have like $1 billion in, PlayStation Store money, okay? We had like 5, 10, 15 bucks, right? And we're trying to get more than one game for a cheap price. And I remember we bought 3 games that night. I think it was 3 games that night, right? It was Lego Star Wars 2, Lego Star Wars 2, the video game, Freedom Planet, and freaking Pac-Man, the original Pac-Man, like Arcade Archives Pac-Man, right? Those were the three games we bought that night. And Freedom Planet was easily either the best or second best purchase we made that night. And I remember Louis, I think, tried Freedom Planet first just to test things out, and he immediately fell in love with Freedom Planet. And I didn't get to play it until a little bit later, mainly because of the fact that, I always wait for an opportunity to try and play through the entire game live or, play it, sometimes so I can get like a review out of it. But as of late, you guys know I make like full playthroughs of a lot of the games I play, or let's play, or I play it, I do full playthroughs or games in parts, right? A lot of the time. So I try to find an opportunity to try and do that. And I said, fuck it one day and said, let me play the entirety of Freedom Planet in classic mode. Because there are multiple modes when you start Freedom Planet. There is a original game mode, which basically contains all the levels in a set order. Where it also has the story in between those levels. Like throughout the entire game, it gives you the plot of the game, the plot of the entire game, the story of the characters, whatever. Classic mode, where basically, classic mode is basically the entire game with all of its levels in order, but with as little story as possible, right? And that's the mode I played. And then you also have, like, I think a randomized mode where you play all the stages in a randomized order and shit, and not really like a set order and all that shit. And those are like the three ways you can play Freedom Planet. I chose to play Freedom Planet in classic mode. I think it was also easy as well, because I kind of wanted an easy to blitz through kind of experience with the game. And because I played on classic, since there was little story, it basically kind of felt like a pretty easy at times Sonic game. And I enjoyed Freedom Planet a lot. I remember loving the level design, most of the level design, if I remember. There was like a level with like these green and blue switch shits, like kind of like a puzzle joint I really didn't like. Some of the bosses are pretty hard, even in, easy mode and shit. And other than all of that, I really enjoyed Freedom Planet. I remember my brother, when he played Freedom Planet on PS5, he was having problems and the game kept crashing on him over and over again, because sometimes if you play in story mode, fun fact, with Freedom Planet, the game will sometimes crash on you. And I don't know if that's just a digital version of Freedom Planet problem, where it's like the digital version isn't all the way there or something like that. Or, it might just be a me and Louis problem, but the game for Louis anyway, not me. When I did my full classic playthrough of against Freedom Planet, I had no crashing whatsoever, but I was afraid of that throughout it. And also with Freedom Planet, I love the different types of gameplays. You got your running gameplay like Sonic the Hedgehog. You got your gameplay where you're riding upon this dragon thing a little bit, doing a little bit of shoot 'em up shit. And yeah, other than all those things, I felt like Freedom Planet was a solid game with really good music. The voice acting in the game, to be honest, for Freedom Planet was up and down. Like, for example, some characters felt like their audio for the character was perfect, and there was other times where the audio for the character was way too loud, or there would even be bits where the music is completely overshadowing the voice acting because someone sounds like they're muffling into the mic, or they sound like they're whispering or something, or you just can't hear them all the way through. And yeah, there's a lot of audio issues when it comes to this game in terms of like the voice acting and stuff, but don't let that bother you from like really good gameplay and pretty decent story. Even though it's dark at times, the story for Freedom Planet is pretty damn good, to the point that there's a second Freedom Planet, which me and Louie haven't played yet, but one day I'll get to Freedom Planet too. But other than like the voice acting, some levels being kind of ass, and some bosses taking forever to beat for me and being a pain in the dick, Freedom Planet is a solid 2D platformer based on Sonic the Hedgehog. It's phenomenal. It's great. I think each and every single Sonic fan should really check this out if you're interested. And even non-Sonic fans, I feel like would excuse me, I had to take a drink there. I feel like even non-Sonic fans could get a kick out of playing Freedom Planet because, you know, it can show them their first exposure to like fast-paced 2D platforming gameplay. And there's also slow-paced platforming gameplay. And if you want me to like kind of compare it for comparison's sake, Freedom Planet feels like Sonic 2 when you go really, really fast, but then it also feels like Sonic 1 with its slow-paced platforming sections and all that other sort of stuff. But it's faster than Sonic 1 by a mile, but you get my point. Sometimes you will go super slow like Sonic 1 and slowly platform over different platforms and methodically think about your movement and all that other sort of stuff. But yeah, that's my review on Freedom Planet. Seriously, check this game out. It's phenomenal. It's great. I think everybody playing this game would have a great time. And again, there's also different difficulties you can set it to. So if you're not really like that hardcore of a gamer, you can put on easy, or if normal is where you want to go with, you can go normal. But if you want to go easy, just like your boy here. And the reason I put it in easy is because I'm not really the craziest gamer on the planet. But, you know, sometimes an easy game to get into and get out of is better than a game you sit there struggling with for hours. But yeah, guys, that's my Freedom Planet review. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share the video with your friends. Thank you so much for watching my Freedom Planet review. And I'll see you guys next time. I don't know when, but I'll see you guys next time. Peace.